Hello, my name's Louise Vincent and I'm the Progression Manager at Gosforth Academy. My main role for sixth formers is to help you identify what career you would be interested in targeting when you leave school. Now, some of you may already know what you want to be, some of you may not know at all, and that's absolutely fine. Nobody knows at 18 exactly what they're going to do for the rest of their life. But what I'd like to do with you when you first arrive, and also with colleagues, is we try and identify the areas of interest that you work in, both academically and also out of school. And then we start developing a plan for what you'll do in order to get to where you want to go next after school. So in order to ensure that you get a realistic and achievable and inspiring plan for your next step, we need to have conversations and identify what your interests are, what have you done in and out of school, what are your aspirations, and then we develop a plan in terms of what your options are. Now, the way in which I work with other colleagues in the sixth form is I work very closely with the tutorial programme and with the tutors, and your tutors are the first point of call for any pastoral concerns, and also when you are applying for university and doing UCAS applications or any other applications. But what I will do with the tutors is identify those groups of you within the year and individuals within the year who might be eligible for particular programmes. So this is where we actually start looking at your destination beyond school. So in Gosforth Academy, about 86% of the year 13 leavers from last year, from year 13 of this terrible year we've had, managed to secure a place at university, and 90% of them secured it at their first choice university. Now, that is not a fluke. That's to do with their hard work in terms of achieving their exam marks, but also the hard work of all the academic staff in terms of supporting them in their achievements, in terms of their learning of their subjects, but also with the tutors identifying, along with me, the best match in terms of the courses and your interest. So out of those 86% that achieve university, about 43% of them, of students like you that are thinking about coming in, managed to secure a Russell Group university. Along with the university route, there are other options. And the other options don't rule out university either at a later date. So out of that group from last year, as an example, we had other students, we had about 15 students that went to an art foundation course, which is a really good way of building up your art portfolio if you're interested in developing your career in the creative industries, in either photography or fine art or any of the kind of fashion or costume design sides of life. Other students went on to apprenticeships. Now, there are different levels of apprenticeship depending on what your qualifications are. And those levels of apprenticeship are an advanced apprenticeship at level 3 or a higher apprenticeship which goes from 4 to 7. And some higher apprenticeships also include degree apprenticeships. If you're interested in a degree apprenticeship, that's very much about, any apprenticeship, it's very much about how you like working and learning. And the advantage of that is obviously you get paid rather than having to have a student loan, although we also help through the tutorial programme identify and share with you how student finance works. So we try at every point to show you what the options are for you and help develop a plan that makes sense and hopefully inspires you for your future. As well as having an individual advice and guidance session with me and also having the ongoing support of your tutors, we also produce within sixth form weekly progression notes, which are available for you all to access. They're also put up on the wall, but they're useful to access on our system, which we will give you a login to when you start here. And on that, there are links to all sorts of opportunities that come up every week for you to actually start building your profile as a person in the world, as somebody who wants to make a case for either your employment or your university or your apprenticeship. And my advice is for you to do about every half term, do about one progression activity in order to start building a case for your interests, but also start exploring your interests at the same time. So for example, this week in our progression notes, we have the EY Business Academy, which is open for applications for work experience next summer. Now it seems like such a long time away, but to have a week of paid work experience in one of the top 4 financial and management consultancy companies in the world that have offices in Newcastle is a really good opportunity to apply for. So if you are motivated and engaged in sixth form here, you'll leave here with a plan and an understanding of where you're going next. Now, in order to do that, you don't have to know exactly what career you're going to go into, and you don't need to be thinking about university either. Although a lot of our students go to university, there are plenty of other options, and one of my guiding principles, as in my individual advice and guidance sessions and in terms of developing the progression programme, is to ensure that every individual student has their needs addressed in relation to what you want to achieve in your future.